So Vcu Health is a fairly large organization. They're actually the premier hospital facility in the Mid-Atlantic. So this is the referral center for the Mid-Atlantic region. It's a Virginia Commonwealth University medical system. If you pick the picture of the UT campus up there, sitting in the middle of the city, that's VCU. They look very similar to that. A lot of different hospitals in a surrounded area. They've picked that up obviously in pieces and parts over time. They are one of the largest employers, if not the largest employer in the area, with 31,000 admissions, about 8,000 employees, known as one of the high-ranked hospitals in the area. It's always interesting to me, a lot of our customers end up winning the most wired award, but they win it based on their wireless infrastructure. In facilities such as VCU and in a lot of the hospitals that we're in, it's not a mission critical. It's not a dollars and cents issue, although that's important. In a lot of these cases, it is a life critical thing. When a doctor misses a call or a nurse misses a call, people can literally die. And we do have several customers who will come up and say to us afterwards, you have saved lives in our hospital by the infrastructure you put in place. Because connecting that data and ensuring that data, whether that data be voice or that data be an electronic medical record or it be a page or it be a two-way radio or it be a phone call to a doctor or it be medical telemetry, whatever that data or information happens to be, the need for it to be there is 100%. You know, it's not a 90%, it's not a 95%, it's not that the network went down today. It's not like our typical office. It's an area where they can't afford a downtime. And so that's the perspective that a lot of the hospital customers come at it. And then last of all was their telemetry. Again, for those of you who don't know, telemetry is actually a little bit different than your typical wireless, in that telemetry is the actual waveforms from your heart being transported wirelessly to a reception unit, and it is that reception unit that's actually analyzing the data. So it is a cohesive system. If you do not have the wireless connection between the patient-worn device and the unit that's analyzing the data, you have a break in the whole system. It's actually FDA regulated, and you really truly need 100% coverage for that, meaning in the area where it's deployed. So again, the hospital looked at all of those things and said, what are we going to do? We came in, the facility, as I mentioned earlier, about a little less than 400,000 square feet, about 15 stories tall, all the various frequencies that they wanted for the services they're going to deploy. So we deployed designed and deployed a turnkey system for them. The graph's way too small to see. That's actually just the riser description and kind of the look and feel of the facility. It's really not in two parts. It's actually on top of each other. Again, a picture that you can't really see. But that is the design and deployment documents that we use. So when we do a complete design, it's literally a complete design down to the plans that get handed off to an installation company that's managed by our company. It's very important, and a lot of customers don't recognize this. When you do a wireless design, there's two approaches to it. You can do a wireless design, and you can what I'll call a Dixie cup design, and I can put a Dixie cup on top of that picture, and I can separate my antennas in a reasonable distance, and I can go out and deploy that design, and then I can come in there and I can test that design. I can shift things around. I can do other, put more antennas in, move antennas, etc. And that is certainly an approach to getting that coverage and getting that coverage ultimately done. And in a lot of areas, that may work just fine. Inside of a hospital, that does not work, plain and simple. That design has to be right before it is ever deployed inside that facility. You have a lot of different constraints inside of a hospital. You have infection control issues, which is very, very key. You have disruption issues. Hospitals, when they're up and running, they're a 7x24 operation, so there is no downtime. So I appreciate at UT and at the Astro Stadium, you can go in from 3 o'clock in the morning till noon, or you could go when events weren't occurring. At a hospital, there is no time to do that. So therefore, you can't be going in and out. You have to do that design right. You have to have the tools to do it. You have to have the prediction capability. And you really have to get that design nailed down to begin with so that when you install it, it's installed right, it's tested, it works out of the chute. I show this picture not because every frequency looks like this. Okay, red's red hot. That is a red hot signal. You'll notice there's no other color on there. As I mentioned, for telemetry, it's not forgiving. You have to be 100%. So what we tend to design to, you design to your maximum constraints. So you look at it and you say, if I've got to have telemetry 100%, then primarily I'm going to design to telemetry, and then I'm going to predict from there what my other services are going to be. Because obviously, as I mentioned, some things are ultra crucial. Is it ultra crucial in the end that a Wi-Fi layer for guest services works everywhere? No, that's not going to cause a life situation to occur. Certainly telemetry could. So therefore, it's designed to that maximum constraint. And generally speaking, when the hospital is designed with roughly a third of it designed for telemetry, that third is going to be rock solid. It is going to be red hot for virtually every other service as well, just because it had to be that way for the telemetry.